Hi, welcome to Cape Media News. I'm Gabrielle Rawson, and I'm here today with the lovely Jenny Wheeler, who is the program director and executive chef at Faith Family Kitchen. She's also the owner of Jenny's Joy. Jenny, thank you for being here. How are you?
I'm great, Gabby. How are you? Thanks for having us.
Of course, I'm doing good. I'm also here today. We're joined by Harry Henry, who's the director of the Cape Cod Culinary Incubator. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, and enjoy the day and have a good conversation here.
Absolutely. You guys, I heard from Jenny, I was told that you guys have started something pretty amazing in the midst of a huge global crisis. You guys have come together to create something called the Cape Cod Family Table Collaborative. Jenny, could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think that, obviously we're in the middle of an unprecedented situation. And the program that I run on a regular basis is Faith Family Kitchen, where we feed people that deal with food security issues in the Hyannis area. Well, right now, food security is an epic topic in this area. The numbers are growing due to the fact that people are unemployed, kids are out of school, and we saw that need increasing significantly. And I, reached out to Harry and said, I think that there's more we can do to further address this issue. And so Faith Family Kitchen and the Cape Cod Council of Churches has partnered with the American Culinary Federation under the guidance of Michael Piccarella, who's the chapter lead here on Cape Cod. He's also the head chef of the Wiano Club. And Harry with Cape Cod Culinary Incubator in order to form the Cape Cod Family Table Collaborative. And our goal is to further address the food security needs of the local community. So how we're doing that is we've partnered with the Greater Boston Food Bank, and we're bringing in a lot of food. The Cape Codder has allowed us they've donated the use of their kitchen, and their chefs are running that kitchen to do this program. Our goal is to make upwards of 500 half trays of nutritious, delicious meals every week, along with 500 quarts of soup to be able to distribute to local families. That amount is designed to feed a family of 4 for at least 2 meals throughout the weekend. What we're finding at Faith Family Kitchen are the 2 largest upticks in who needs access to food are families and the elderly. Mm-hmm. So because of that, we're actually going to start distributing in different locations, and we'll release that as our schedule becomes available. But we're starting this Friday, Good Friday. We'll be distributing food in the HYCC parking lot, the Hyannis Youth Center. Sorry about that. Hyannis Youth Center. And we'll be distributing those meals. Anybody is allowed to come. Like I said, the half tray, we're designing like kind of nutritiously dense meals, because what we're finding is that people don't have a lot of access to real food. And unfortunately, during this crisis, processed food, it's very rare for me to say any food is good food. Obviously, in this type of a crisis, any food is better than no food, but if we lack nutrition, we're actually creating additional problems while we're getting through a crisis, because our bodies don't run the same way, we don't feel as good. So what we're trying to do is make sure that we can get as much nutrition to these families as we possibly can during this time.
That's so amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. Harry, can you tell me a little bit more about the Cape Cod Culinary Incubator? I apologize, I don't actually know much about you guys. I mean, I've definitely heard of you, but could you tell us a little bit about that and about your role in this brand new collaborative?
Sure. Well, we're a 501c3. We're a nonprofit here local on the Cape. And our mission is to provide resources to the food entrepreneur. And the food entrepreneur could be somebody who's running a restaurant. It could be a chef. It could be somebody who's making grandma's jam at home and they want to sell it to farmers markets and beyond. It could be a food truck. So there's a number of different people in the food industry who need a commercial kitchen to cook their food in before they distribute it, sell it, etc. So we're in the process of looking for the right place and right location to open a commercial kitchen that people can rent on an hourly basis or as needed basis. And as such, part of our mission is to provide educational services. We provide classes. We just finished an entrepreneur class, 8 weeks for entrepreneurs to run through all the business aspects of opening a business, basically a food business. And also part of our mission is to serve the broader food community. So that's where we're connecting with Jenny and what she's doing at the Faith Kitchen, and with Michael and the American Culinary Federation. So our role in this really is to be the, I'll call it the corporate structure, because we do have a 501c3, so we can set up donations, and helping Jenny pull together the pieces that are needed. That is getting the food from the Greater Boston Food Bank, and lining up the chefs, lining up the kitchens, lining up the location, getting publicity out, and connecting all the dots with a number of food people in the food business across the Cape. And as Jenny said, is that, you know, when this thing hit, especially when the shutdown happened and basically restaurants were forced to shut down, you immediately had people out of work, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody from the chef who runs the kitchen to the servers to the bartenders to the cooks, etc. So especially on the Cape, that's a bulk of our industry in the off season, and not to mention in season. So you immediately have people who have no income, period. And so when Jenny mentions, you know, an uptick in the need, it's not only the need of people that we generally think of on an ongoing basis who may be struggling, but all of a sudden you've got an explosion in the population of who needs to be served. At the same time, you have services that have been shut down or curtailed or changed. So for example, in Jenny's kitchen, where she serves a family meal on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights, it's got to be takeout. Mm-hmm. And some other services around town have shut down. And there's really no food services for people in need on the weekend. So that's where we saw the need to come together. And, you know, Jenny will be the first one to tell you, no one person is going to do it alone. So it takes a whole bunch of folks to put it all together. And so that's why we're here.
And can you tell me who else is involved in this alliance? And tell me, I mean, I think that this issue will potentially be here for a while. But I know, Jenny, you've said that you hope that this is something that will go past this situation.
Yeah, the hope is that, you know, this, I think in times of crisis, we also have opportunity, right? And so this has allowed for an opportunity for the restaurant, food provider, food community in general to come together in a way that may not have happened had we not had this need. And so with that in mind, we're seeing truly, I'm saying this all the time, we're getting to see the best of humanity, because we're getting to see people, organizations step up that want to help, even while they're suffering themselves. They want to step up and help the community, which is why we're doing this. And so with that in mind, some of the players so far that have come forward and said, please, we want to help you. We have received donations, food donations from Escargot Cafe, from the West End, from Wiano, from Coonamessett, from Cleeton Anchor, from the Lobster Pot. We have the lead chef, Joe, at the West End is driving all over Cape Cod to bring us produce and dairy and frozen items that are being donated by restaurants that have shut down, bring it to our kitchen to help us provide more nutritious meals. We have Home Depot, who has donated all of the buckets that we need to process all of these food with food liners and everything like that. We have the Cape Codder has donated their kitchen, and their staff is staffing that kitchen. The ACF is providing chefs to come in and do an additional shift after I close down at Faith Family Kitchen, in order to keep my 35-gallon soup kettle in play at all times. they are coming in and just chopping produce and keeping that soup kettle going, because we're producing almost 100 quarts of soup a day out of it.
Now, are you guys only using volunteers at this point? And how many do you have?
So Faith Family Kitchen has tightened up its volunteers to a steady set group to limit the risk of any exposure to anybody. But ACF is actually doing all of the staffing for the Cape Cod Family Table Collaborative. So it's all ACF chefs that are staffing all of the kitchens that we're utilizing. Cleat and Anchor has offered their kitchen as a prep kitchen if we need it. So we have the ability to grow as the community need grows. And that was our goal, is we want to make sure that we're agile enough to meet the needs of the community, where that need is and what that need is. So we've designed it with the ability to start with one site, and hopefully the need does not continue to grow. But if it does, we're hoping to be able to meet that need as it grows.
I should, if I could interject too, I should also mention North Coast Seafood.
Oh, yes.
They have donated their trucks and drivers. So they're actually doing the food pickup up at the Greater Boston Food Bank and driving it back down here for distribution. So once again, volunteers in the community stepping forward to provide, real assets, real resources to move stuff around, which is not small. For example, yesterday, Jenny placed an order up at the Boston Food Bank, and the North Coast Seafood drove it down, and we unloaded, what was it, almost 8,000 pounds of food yesterday into the back of the Cape Codder kitchen. So we filled them up.
And North Coast actually sent 2 trucks to allow us to have the manpower to deal with that type of weight. It just as for reference, I take in at Faith Family Kitchen about 7,000 pounds of food a month. And we provide meals every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The almost 8,000 pounds we took in yesterday for 1 week is more than what I take in a month. So 500 half trays and 500 quarts of soup is over 5,000 portions of food a week.
And are you seeing those numbers right now? Let me ask you, how many people are you serving right now? And how can people access these services? That's really the most important part for anybody who's watching. How can they come have some delicious soup and a meal?
So right now, we're seeing significant upticks, like I said, in the families and seniors at Faith Family Kitchen. You can access our meals there at 154 Bierce's Way in Hyannis every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. The meal distribution that we're planning on doing will be starting through the Family Table Collaborative. Will be starting this Friday, Good Friday, and we'll be distributing at HYCC from 4 to 6 p.m. So anybody that needs it can come pick up a half tray and a quart of soup so that it can help a family get through the weekend. Single people are allowed to come as well. I am going to try and package some smaller meals so that it isn't overwhelming to people. But the big thing I really want to do is that I want to make sure people hear us, is that an awful lot of people are in need for the first time. And so, like Harry said, people are out of work that have never been out of work before. People who have kind of always what we refer to as lived on the bubble, 1 or 2 paychecks away from really not being able to pay their bills, all of a sudden have found themselves in need for the very first time. The stigma that is attached to food security issues is very high. Our goal is to make sure the entire community hears us. We are here for you. We want you to know that you can come get healthy, nutritious, delicious meals. There's no judgment attached to this. All we care about is you, the health and wellness of your family. And we want you to know that we're there for you. So please, nobody should go hungry at this time. Nobody should be in the need for good, nutritious food. Please come seek us out. And you can reach us through both the website of the Cape Cod Culinary Incubator. You can also reach me through the webpage of Faith Family Kitchen or Jenny's Joy website. all of which have Harry and my contact data, the information around this program, and we will continue to promote where we're going to be distributing. With every distribution, we'll promote it on our website. You can always reach out to us. But as the need grows, we will continue to grow.
Well, that is just absolutely wonderful. And I just want to thank you both so much for doing this, and for all of your partners and everyone that is involved in this. It's a wonderful, useful thing that you're doing right now. And of course, Cape Media News will continue to get the word out and make sure we'll post the dates and times that you currently have. And please let us know if you add more locations. So again, thank you so much, Henry.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. And Jenny, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Gabby.